Hey guys! Welcome back to our keyboard related video. Today, I'll let you know my thoughts on the MW65 Lite. If you haven't watched it yet, I released my unboxing, build guide, as well as a preliminary sound test of it. But with that out of the way, let's get started. The MW65 Lite, as previously mentioned on my first bid, is the little brother of the MW65, with a much improved 2-piece polycarbonate case. Otherwise, it's still one of the best affordable gasket mount keyboards out in the market. It is stated to have a group buy in China for approximately $70 for the kit, and once done, it will be an in-stock item for $75. No info yet on when this will be released in the Philippines or internationally, but I'll update the description once it's live. This unit in particular is a Proto sent over by MWStudios. Some of the changes that will take into effect on the retail unit is that the case, rather than being made of acrylic, will be made out of polycarbonate. The USB Type-C will also be in a form of a daughter board, rather than being incorporated in the PCB itself. As far as I know, it will also be centered, rather than on the side. As I've said earlier, the case I have here is made out of acrylic, and may not be indicative of the actual build quality of the final unit. But in my case, it does exhibit a little bit of creaking because of the material. The feed shell is also flopping in my experience. The standoffs, while not hard to assemble, leaves room for improvement. See, as to it, you need to align them perfectly every time you want to reassemble the board. I'm happy that in the retail unit, the Type-C will be centered and converted into a daughter board, since the design I have here doesn't inspire confidence in terms of the board's longevity and durability. Otherwise, the board is quite great looking, especially with its frosted nature. I still have underglow that lights up the board's case fine. Moving on, the Proto I have here has the PCB with the flex cuts, rather than the perky RGB, like the one X-Riff has. That's why, in comparing our bounce tests, you can notably see that mine is much more flexier. No word yet on which PCB will be used on the retail unit. Just know that in both configurations, the board was able to flex easily, even without the aid of the flex cuts. Layout-wise, the board is a standard 65%, with a blocker on the bottom right to separate out the arrow keys. A knob is also supported on the topmost right, but you need to solder it if you want to use it. The board also supports step caps lock, as well as split spacebars, but my polycarbonate plate cannot support split spacebars. The caps lock has an LED indicator, and the underglow and key remapping can be controlled by VIA. The polycarbonate plate in this board has flex cuts all over it as well, and it did provide a soft typing experience to boot. The board has the IXPE, plate foam, and case foam already pre-bundled. Later on, we'll be hearing the sound difference of the board with and without foam. As per the mounting style, this is a gasket mount design, with gaskets flanking all sides of the board. It was able to give a great typing experience out of the box, and with the inclusion of the flex cuts, it even offered a bouncier typing experience than my Mod 007. For switches, I chose Jelly Blacks for linears and Pecker Pandas for tactiles, and we'll be comparing it with and without foam, as well as with tape mod added. Overall, the board wasn't muted by any means, but it is much more silent than my other builds. For comparison, here are my other boards. For $75 in stock in China, you couldn't go wrong with this board. It offers so many things its competitor lack for the price, like a true gasket mount experience, is outpacing flexible PCB, along with the polycarbonate plate that is also flexible. Not to mention the multiple layout support and be out of the box. The closest keyboard to this, at this price range, is the MW65 itself. Even the KBD67 Lite is much more expensive, though that keyboard has an injection molded case. The build quality might be subpar, but do keep in mind that my unit is a Proto, and the case will be polycarbonate on its final release. I just hope that the retail unit will be as good or even better than this unit I have. If you're looking for a budget gasket mount keyboard that actually flexes, is south-facing, and BIA compatible, then look no further than the MW65 Lite. I wholeheartedly recommend this. So, what are your thoughts on the keyboard? Do you have any questions? Leave them down below and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. But that's been it. I'm John J. Villanueva, and I'll see you in the next video.